Game 4 of round 1 in the new season brings us a grand final rematch in a way, a replay of the last decider of Victoria's top flight, the grand final of 2019 when the Bentleigh Greens took the championship trophy after a penalty shootout. A lot has happened since then, but not even a global pandemic can shake these two sides from entering the season as two of the favourites. From Melbourne's inner northern suburbs, it's Avondale against Bentleigh in round 1 of the NPL Victoria men's competition. Jordan Canellis with you on a beautiful day here at Avondale Park. Alongside me, a man who is very familiar to NPL audiences right across Victoria, Australia, Adam Sarakoglu. Adam, good afternoon.
Hi Jordan, it's good to be here for the start of another brand new season here at Avondale Park. It's a great matchup, obviously, as we have a moment's silence before kick-off.
A moment's silence respectfully observed around Avondale Park. Adam, your thoughts heading into today's game? Two of the big contenders for this season's titles. Avondale, obviously, with a star-studded team. Nick Tolios has quite a young team for the Bentleigh Greens this season, but we expect them to be right up there again in 2022.
Yeah, a lot of new names, though, in these lineups and a couple of big-name signings for both, but Bentleigh Greens in particular. Jordy Vanderlaan is the one we want to watch today, Jordan, because he's come over, a Dutch import. He'll be starting up front for the Bentleigh Greens, but Tom Strickland's come across as well from Heidelberg United. For Avondale, I mean, we'll talk about the starting lineups as the game starts to develop, but a couple of big names not in the lineup today, including one of their leading goal scorers last season, Stephen Valentini starting on the bench today for Avondale as well. So, yeah, a couple of big names are out, and Phil Riccobene not out there either today for Avondale.
So Bentleigh Greens to kick us off. There is Jordy Vanderlaan in the centre, getting us underway from Avondale Park, the Dutch striker, and thrusting into attack immediately. The Bentleigh Greens. Lucas Derrick seeing that out of play. Here's James Riccobene with the throw. Short option in Yazid Saeed, wearing number 29 for Avondale, goes a little longer. Danny Kim, new signing this season for the Bentleigh Greens, back in the NPL mix this season after a spell with Hume a couple of years ago. Riccobene, Katabian, central. This is Hillier, the captain. That's Kalilu Kamara in the centre of defence. Through midfield, Basia. And now Avondale will attack down the far side, but Bentleigh have got behind the ball. And Pierce Clark will sweep up in his area. Liam Boland starting up front today for the Avengers. And out of play over that far sideline. Good crowd has built up today, Adam, for round 1 for these two sides.
Yeah, we've had two false starts to the last two NPL seasons, obviously, Jordan, and he's just hoping that we actually get through the entire season this year. Nice little crowd for what is a perfect day for football at Avondale Park. It's the Bentleigh Greens currently looking to launch an attack. It's Vanderlaan. That ball was intended for him, but it didn't work out on that occasion. Greens working the left side. Lundy tried to clear away, didn't get great purchase. And it's Kim who eventually wins the throw for Bentleigh. As we mentioned before kick-off, this is a big year for both of these clubs. The most recent grand final we did have was this exact matchup. It went to penalties in that grand final. 4-3 on penalties. Bentleigh Greens winning that grand final. Two high-quality lineups, led by Zoran Markovski and Nick Tolios, respectively. So Vandelaan getting involved again. Tried to turn onto his left, but some good defensive work there to kill off the attack. This throw is going to go Avondale's way. So we've played 3.5 minutes at Avenger Park. Yanni Zitis is our referee for this contest today. Lundsey getting involved again in defence for Avondale, but now there's a chance out the back here for Bentleigh. Vandelaan is that big, tall presence in the area that was potentially waiting for that ball to come in, but finally it does. It's not a clean one. Bentleigh have to start again from the back. This is Danny Kim. An easy collect for Bon Scott in the Avondale goal. Big shoes to fill for Bon Scott with the gloves for Avondale. There's James Rickabene. He is out here today. Brother Phil not lining up. There's Katabian. Sends one out wide. Not great control from Agawek, but Avondale maintaining possession. Agawek again getting involved on the turn. Katabian, does he think about a strike? He does, but it's blocked. Now Rickabene. He'll send in another ball for Avondale. It was shallow and easily dealt with. They'll go for a third time. Barcia. This is Kamara. They'll retreat all the way back to Bon Scott. 5 played, no score at Avenger Park.
High energy game so far. Hillier, the presence in defence for Avondale. Barcia, Yazid Saeed, I beg your pardon, calling for it on the near side. Rickabene threads it through up the line. Avondale get motoring now. Barcia again in midfield. Kim closed him down, spreads the play out to the far side. Lundy will try and whip it in, gets it to the front post, and there was no one there contesting along with Clark. A good move from Avondale, good switch of play as well, spreading Bentleigh from left to right. Under the pump as well in midfield. Webster with the captain's armband. Delan dropping in. The header was far too heavy and there was no one further beyond Lucas Derrick on that right wing. This is Jack Painter Andrews with the throw. New signing this season from WA. Switches it to Carrigan. Stepping through Avenger Park, Carrigan goes with a speculative shot and he saw Scott off his line. But that was travelling all the way over the top of the bar. And Avondale looking to get things going quickly as well. Scott wasted no time. Barcia is closed down. That was Mitch Hoare in midfield for Bentleigh with the defensive pressure. Kamara up the line. Agawek is dispossessed. Bentleigh a chance. Vandelaan dropping in. Derrick's ahead of him. Vandelaan wants the shot, and Scott was a little unsure there for a moment. Just took a slight touch on the way through, so he had to almost halt his movement. Scott, but he got his body behind the ball, which is most important for a goalkeeper. Kamara. So a few chances on goal registered for both sides. Rickabene. Trzaskowski just a yard too far ahead of him. Hoare is energetic in midfield. Derek steps around Saeeds. Gets a nutmeg in as well, but Saeeds kept the endeavour up. Painter Andrews. Carrigan looking for the long ball out to the left wing where Pierce Waring lines up today. Vanderline in the centre for Bentleigh and Lucas Derrick on the right wing. In the middle of the park for Bentleigh, Mitch Hoare, Danny Kim and also Tom Strickland, the former Heidelberg player. Queensland native, out of play again. Scoreless so far, almost 10 minutes gone here at Avenger Park.
No major tests yet for either men in the gloves today. 2 meetings between these two sides last year. Avondale getting up in both. There's a chance now for Bentleigh to go onto the attack once more. It's Vanderlaan, not great control as the ball arrived, and eventually Avondale concede the corner. It's going to be whipped in by Mitch Hoare. Mentioned some of those big names that we've become accustomed to for Avondale over the years that aren't out here today. No Matt Reid, no Stefan Zini, Yite Towns, Blake Carpenter, Phil Riccobene, all not in the side for Avondale. As we'll see what comes of this corner. It's a low one, easily dealt with. Painter Andrews getting another touch. Spent time at Perth Glory. It's regained nicely by Strickland. Now Danny Kemp. Can't get past Katabian. Strickland, the ex-Heidelberg United man. Carrigan. Switched over to the left side now. Bentleigh have had the lion's share of possession so far, and they're on the attack yet again. Avondale firms up in defence, forcing a throw. Throw was in the direction of Vanderlaan. Katabian cleared away for Avondale. All the way back to Jack Webster. And we'll see Brandon Lundy bring it back into play. Good start for Nick Tolios's men. Avondale still just working their way through. Trying to get some flow established. It's come all the way back to Pierce Clark for Bentleigh. This is Jack Webster. Riccobene gets it back for Avondale. Katabian, first time ball. Tried to set up Saeed. Pierce Clark sends it high into the sky here at Avenger Park. It'll be an Avondale throw near our broadcast area. This is James Riccobene.
Agwex the target in the centre for Avondale. Interesting to note. Liam Boland on the right wing for the home side. So Bentleigh starting to really assert themselves on the contest here. It was a pretty even start to the first few minutes, but now Bentleigh seeing a lot more possession in the last 6 to 7 minutes. Foul on the outer side. Yanis Zizis will have a talking to with a couple of Avondale players. Corey Sewell's the left back on that wing for the Bentleigh Greens. Lifted into the middle. Vanderlaan had his back to it. Kamara dealt with it. Now Barcia with the first time lob out to Saeed. Painter Andrews in a one-on-one. What can Saeed do? Painter Andrews stands up well. Clark can't waste time, and he wasted just enough time to bring in Agwek into the contest. So Avondale will press up now and try and pin Bentleigh back. Vanderlaan brings it down for Derek. Ricabene, strong as ever. Veteran left back in this league. Saeed to his outside. Webster came in. That's good defensive work from the man who's played almost 270 games in the NPL. In fact, exactly 270 games. Hurried clearance from Scott. Waring on that outside. Lundy a quick throw over the top of Boland. Avondale favouring the left wing a lot in this first 15-minute period. Ricabene sliding it through. Saeed's too heavy, and once again Webster will sweep up. Katabian came across to the sideline to try and header it back into play. Did actually skim off his head, but he was just outside the field of play by the time he made contact. I don't know why he went for that, risking giving away possession. Traszczewski can't quite get through the green wall in midfield. Katabian turning it around the corner for Boland, who's now moved into the central position of that front three, and Manny Agwek out on the right. Joey Katabian playing just off the shoulder of Liam Boland as well. Long ball to the outside. Whipped in for Avondale. Into the box. And the opening goal of the contest is Avondale's. And it's Joey Katabian. That man who was playing just in behind the striker ran into the back posts. He was behind Piers Clark, who couldn't see him. And it's 1-0 Avondale after 15 minutes. Adam Sarakoglu, that's a great move from Avondale, who were able to stretch from left to right and then whipped in for Joey Katabian.
You may argue against the flow a little bit. Bentleigh certainly owned the first 10 minutes of the game possession-wise. Avondale just finally being able to string a couple of possessions together, and a lovely finish by Joey Katabian. Only scored 3 times last season, and he opens the account for the Avengers here. So the home team strikes first. Great start for Zora Markovsky's men. Now we'll see what the response is from the men in green here today. This is Jack Webster. Katabian, the goal scorer, getting involved again. Ricabene tried to get a combination going with Barcia. Kamara sending it out wide for Agwek, but had a man on, and they lose possession, the Avengers here. Two meetings last year in NPL Victoria, both wins for Avondale on those two occasions. It was 2-0 at Kingston Heath, and then 3-1 here later in the year. And they have an early advantage to start the 2022 season. And right now, it's on their terms. Painter Andrews, back to Webster. He was in two minds. Vanderlaan had come up all the way to midfield. There was a man on the left wing. Challenging was Kamara, but now a chance for Waring for Bentleigh Greens. On the edge of the area, We'll get another corner. Second of the game coming up for Bentleigh. And again, it's going to be Mitch Hoare coming across to send it in. They'll be looking to set up for the equaliser here. I'll tell you what, Jordan, just getting our first look at Geordie Vanderlaan, he's a really big presence. You'd think he'd be a factor in these sorts of situations. Short corner taken. Secondary ball in, easily dealt with in the end by Barcia. Carrigan won it back for Bentleigh. This is Danny Kemp. Ricky Bene got pulled down. Wins the foul. So they took the short corner option there, Bentleigh. Nothing coming of it. It remains a 1-0 lead for Avondale.
Yeah, I'm liking the work of Vanderlaan already. I haven't seen too much of him, but I like his endeavour to drop in and actually get involved in the play. He's not staying isolated at the top for Bentleigh and sort of stagnating. He's trying to be as involved as he can. He's had a couple of heavy touches, so it's a bit of that rust to shake off. But the size is certainly the most striking thing about Geordie Vanderlaan. Here's Saeed. Goes tumbling over. Painter Andrews has got himself backed up in a corner. Katabian shuts it off. Oh, nice spin from Boland. Didn't really go anywhere. Zizis, the referee, gets involved. Mario Barcia and Yanis Zizis, the referee, a couple of stern words. Derek's the short option. Ricky Bene has won that battle in the first 20 minutes. Has been the driving force down the left side. Barcia pulling the strings in midfield. Here's Kamara. Threads it out the far side. Agwek leaves it. Lundy has to sprint onto it. Can he whip in another ball? Well, the pass threading him through was just a bit too heavy for Brandon Lundy. Strickland getting involved. And Traszczewski goes tumbling over. Yellow card shown to Corey Sewell for rough play. And so a set-piece situation here for Avondale. And they created their goal in the 16th minute from this side of the field. That was in a break. This is a dead ball situation. Joey Katabian and James Riccobene are the two standing over it. So it'll either be the in-swinging left foot of Riccobene or Katabian's right. Zoran Markovsky, I can hear him just off in the distance telling Traszczewski to make the late run in. So keep an eye on him at the top of the box. It'll be Riccobene who brings it in, and Clark was a little unsteady through the air. Reached up, but did just enough to pour it over. Another set piece coming up here for Avondale.
Just one of those awkward aerial balls that goalkeepers hate there, Jordan. But it was well dealt with in the end for Piers Clark.
Katabian will be the one. Tall options in the centre for Avondale. Agwek and Boland with their heights. That's poorly delivered ball right over the top and out the back, and that'll be a goal kick for the Bentleigh Greens. So 1-0 Avondale. Played just almost halfway through this first half. Joey Katabian, the scorer in the 16th minute. Jordan Canellis with you, Adam Sarakoglu as well.
The long ball from Clark. Stays in play. And it's up for grabs. Eventually won by the Bentleigh Greens. It was Hall coming away. But they're forced to retreat. Comes all the way back to Hillier. Now Bentleigh on this left side. Making a run, Sayed eventually tracks it down. Can't find an easy way in. Boland was marked pretty heavily, then fired away a late shot. Ben Carrigan got in the way. Yanni Zitzis had a great view of all of that. Let it all go. So Bentleigh now. Does he think about the long throw in toward Liam Boland? He does, inside the area, for a moment at least. Did well there, Boland, just to maintain that possession for Avondale. Barcia coming all the way back. It was overrun there by Kamara. They look to set up the counter here. They might be on Bentleigh Greens. There's a man down behind play. It's Waring. Tracking back nicely was Lundy. They've done well, Avondale. That Bentleigh man back up on his feet. Nagawek ran out of real estate. Did win the throw though. We've got another card. There's an Avondale man that might be injured behind play. Jordan didn't actually see who that card was for, or even which team. Not sure if you did.
No, I didn't see the card either, but Kalilu Kamara is the one who's down, the centre-back.
So
looks to be in a bit of hurt as well, so there'll be a break in play here.
Yep, so the trainers come out. So we'll take stock of what we've seen so far in these first 25 minutes. Joey Katabian scoring the goal in the 16th minute to give Avondale a 1-0 lead. And while they came out of the blocks nicely, Bentleigh, Avondale have just been able to wrest some control of this game. And at the moment, it is largely on their terms, Jordan. It
is. Well, the goal has changed things. It was pretty even through the first 10 minutes, and then Bentleigh were, as they normally do, want to control the game. They want to dominate possession, and they were doing that up until the goal. And then since the goal, it's been combative again. There's been a lot of hard hits. There's been a lot of zesty contests, if you want to put it that way. But I think it's back on. I think the general momentum of the game is sort of level, but obviously Avondale with that goal, they've got a bit of extra wind in their sails right now. But I don't think that Bentleigh won't be deterred too much by that. I think there's certainly a goal in this Bentleigh team.
So play will restart with an Avondale throw. "27 minutes have expired here at Avenger Park. A 1-0 lead for the hosts. Boland's in the air. Last touch came off him. Danny Kim missed it in the air. And then the challenge on Saeed. We've got a free kick here for Avondale. And a chance to set up for the set piece. It's Katabian currently over it. Scott Hillier a part of the conversation, and Liam Boland, the three potential takers of this free kick for Avondale. Yannis just sorting out the wall, which is just inside the area. Four-man wall. So Boland's or Katabian. It's going to be Boland, and it's well over the crossbar.
Certainly got it up, just couldn't bring it back down, Liam Boland. Playing out from the back, long ball from Webster, who was misguided. Ricobene flicked it into midfield for Barcia. Lundy goes bombing on down the right sideline for Avondale. Sewell cut him off. Avondale have had a lot of possession in enemy territory in the last 5 to 7 minutes. Traszczewski, Katabian turns it around the corner. Boland in the clinches. Flying in was Traszczewski. Back heel from Boland. And Webster stabs it clear. Lucas Derrick and Pierce Waring have swapped wings for Bentleigh. So Derrick's out on the left now and Pierce Waring is on the broadcast side, the right side. Sewell. Strickland. Foot was left in by Lundy. Painter Andrews sees it through to Hoare, who gets bundled over by Katabian. They'll be lucky not to give away a foul there, Avondale. Came charging in from behind Joey Katabian. Derrick being held up by Lundy. And Lundy didn't allow him to turn around, so Bentleigh have to start again from the back. Kim, the defensive midfielder, back from a spell in Singapore with Geylang International. They played the back end of their last season. Katabian. Happy to drop deep from Joey Katabian. We've grown up with him, seeing him as a striker, and he's turned the ball away. Vanderlaan couldn't link up. He's Waring. Ricobene's giving him full contacts. Both hands on the shoulders and out of play. And that's really good defensive work from James Ricobene. Painter Andrews intercepts the throw. Derrick's waiting there in the middle. Brings it down. Sturdy work from Barcia. Avondale clear it. Saeed gets it and goes. Here's Boland. Agwek's moving through the middle. Boland's ball is splitting both Saeed and Agwek evenly. And not only was it equally apart from those two, but it was also heavy as well. Not the best ball from Liam Boland. Traszczewski wanted to pounce on that heavy touch from Danny Kim. Kamara's back up and running. Avondale currently on their longest NPL era undefeated streak, stretching back to last season. Round 4 was their last loss in the league last year against Green Gully. Since then, they haven't been defeated. 15-game undefeated streak. And they're looking to extend that today, and they've certainly put themselves in the best position to do so with the 1-0 lead here in the first half. Ben Carrigan, the former Melbourne Victory youth player, gets it back from Webster. Now Corey Sewell, without that iconic red afro that he was sporting for quite a couple of years across Bulleen and Melbourne Knights. Here's Agwek for Avondale. Carrigan steps in, took it away from Boland, goes out of play. It'll be an Avondale throw on the far side.
So we've passed the half-hour mark at Avenger Park. Joey Katabian, the lone goal scorer so far for the Avengers. Trzeski looking to make something happen on that right side. It has gone out for a corner. And as is often the case, and is Ricabene coming across to send it in for the home team. A lot of players right on the goal line here, especially in that near post. It's a crowded area. Riccabene's ball, perhaps a little bit too low. Trzeski was waiting out the back, but unable to trap it. Has to go back and fetch. Ultimately, it is a wasted ball for Avondale. Danny Kim missed it in the air. Trzeski getting another touch as well for Avondale. They'll get away from danger eventually, Bentleigh, although giving away the throw is Lucas Derrick. Ricabene has to concede a couple of metres for the throw. Right on the halfway line. Trzeski again, not finding his target. Quick counter. Won't work out for Bentleigh. It was intended for Derrick, but Bonscott's able to come out and easily deal with it. This is Scott Hillier. The Kiwi defender going back to the English goalkeeper, Bonscott. Boland's worked his way up. They lose possession. Mitch Hoare can't get past Scott Hillier. Not a great throw from Corey Saul. Barcia got in the way. Up for grabs at midfield. Danny Kim sends another ball aerial. When it comes down, Yanni Tsitsis sees something he doesn't like, and the foul's going to go Avondale's way. Two of this year's leading contenders in NPL Victoria at loggerheads in the opening fixture of the season. Brandon Lundy with the ball on our outer side near the main grandstand at Avenger Park. Played on by Boland, and the volley is sent way over the top from Joey Katabian.
Katabian gives it away in midfield. This game has just closed up a little bit now in the last 10 or so minutes. It was a bit more open earlier in the half. Both defensive units doing their duties to a T. And as a result, we're seeing some frustrated long shots from particularly Avondale the last couple of moments. Bentleigh have barely been able to register anything. Yazid Saeed was a bit too far wide on the left wing to anticipate that loose ball. Here's Carrigan. Five Avondale players in their attacking half, pressing Bentleigh back. Bentleigh have done well to get it to midfield. Swearing shares it with Hoare, who's shown plenty of energy in the first half. Now it's Painter Andrews. Ricabene went sliding in late. Painter Andrews stays on his feet. And then Trzaski came flying through at the end. Tumbling out of play. And after a bit of arguing, they have come to the conclusion that, yes, it is indeed a corner. It's quite clearly hear the English accent of Jack Webster throwing a few curse words around to the referee. So Hall will whip it in here for Bentleigh. Vanderlaan will be the target near the front post. It's stabbed away high into the air, and that'll land out on the back roof somewhere. What's Painter Andrews capable of here? The long throw. Short throw instead. Waring. Painter Andrews couldn't shift it onto his left foot, or his right foot, I beg your pardon, to get it in. So he goes back to go forward through Kim, but Barcia has been sweeping up everything through midfield, shielding his back four in this first half. He's done a sterling job as the holding midfielder, Mario Barcia. And the field will spread again as Bentleigh go all the way back into their own half. And up the middle again, Hoare tries to siphon it through to Derek. Kamara had position. Throw taken quickly. Here's Lucas Derrick. Lundy ahead of him. Mitch Hoare gets the cross in, looking for Waring, who was the target in there. But Scott dominated the airways and then pumps it clear, trying to start a counter-attack. Boland was caught behind just a fraction. Straszczewski comes up. It's cut off, though, by Strickland. Strickland couldn't manoeuvre his way around Katabian. Boland went sliding too early. Waring did well to maintain possession for Bentleigh in the clinches. Hoare spreads it out. Derek. And Lundy throws himself in the battle and gives himself a fist pump. About 5 minutes to go in regulation. Avondale with the lead thanks to Joey Katabian in the 16th minute.
Bon Scott will get things restarted for Avondale. Just a touch over 4 minutes left in regulation. Hillier under some pressure from Waring. Ricabene was the outlet. Hillier will go all the way back to his goalkeeper. It's a patient build-up for Avondale here. For the third time, we'll go back to Bon Scott. Boland making his way up. Back to Hillier. They're in absolutely no rush here, the Avengers. That ball was slightly sprayed by Bon Scott, but it worked out okay. Straszczewski was there for Avondale. Gets it back. His pass was deflected. Wins the throw for Avondale. Down to 3 minutes left in regulation. Have had a few stoppages. We might get a couple minutes added on at the end of the 45 here. William Boland. Saeed trying to combine with Boland, but Painter Andrews got in the way for Bentleigh. Heavy challenge there by Lundy, giving away the foul. Danny Kim. This is Webster. Just Just a little too straight that time for Waring. Bon Scott's able to collect the bouncing ball. So 120 seconds left in regulation here. This is Bentleigh. They're quicker to get things going on this occasion are Avondale. Back out to Bentleigh. His first touch though just a bit too heavy. Opens up the door for Painter Andrews to come in and kill off the attack. It's just taking a while for the ball to come back into play here. Bentleigh finally gets his chance to take his throw. Arguick was getting involved. Now it's Katabian. Barcia. Lundy. This is Kamara making a nice move into the area. Boland. Left foot, then right. Past the goalkeeper, and it's 2-0. Liam Boland opens up his accounts for 2022. The Avengers have doubled their lead right in the shadows of halftime. Had so much time to decide what to do with the ball at his feet. Thought about the left, went on the right, got past Pierce Clark, and it's 2-0 for the hosts.
Yeah, what a finish from Liam Boland. Had to shuffle around a little bit, but Bentleigh will be very disappointed with that. To give away a shot inside the area when you had that many defenders around, and for him to get a clear side-on goal and be able to thread it through. I'll definitely be a little disappointed with that, Bentleigh, but obviously Avondale ecstatic with the goal, the second goal. Will they try and get another one before the half is out? Katabian found Saeed, who went to flip it around first. Threads it down the far side. Trzaskowski looking to get the ball in. Defended away. Staying alive, though. Trzaskowski left-footed shot this time. Into stoppage time now in the first half. Hillier, Barcia, Kamara. So Joey Katabian opened the scoring in the 60th minute, Liam Boland in the 45th minute. And two of the many star players, really, that Avondale have at their disposal in the final third on the score sheet in round one of this new NPL Victoria season. Essentially picking up from where they left off. Avondale, top of the table by the suspension of last season. Had 2 wins last season against the Bentleigh Greens, and they are halfway to another one to start 2022. Avondale 2-0 leaders over the Bentleigh Greens at half-time. Katabian and Boland on the score sheet. How will Nick Tolios and his men in green respond in the second half? How will Zoran Markovski and his men in blue try and put the game away? We'll find out in a couple of moments for the second half of NPL Victoria action in round one from Avenger Park.
Welcome back to Avenger Park here. Round 1 action in NPL Victoria to kick off your 2022 season. Avondale with a 2-0 lead coming into the second half, and we have got a halftime substitution. It's Jonathan Germano coming into the game for Avondale. We'll try and get confirmation of who it was coming out. Didn't see the number on the board, but the second half is underway. Jordan Canales, Adam Sarikoglu with you. Hope you enjoyed the first 45 minutes, and hopefully we get a grandstand finish at Avenger Park between two of the better sides in NPL Victoria. Just repeating, Jonathan Germano now into the game as a halftime substitute for Avondale. This is his first touch, combining with Ricky Bentleigh. Thought the ball had come out of play there for a moment. Finally, Yanni Zissi stops play. It is coming back for an Avondale throw. So Joey Katabian and Liam Boland, your goal scorers in the first half, can now confirm that Christian Chajewski is the man that has made way for Germano for Avondale. So Zora Markovski making use of his first substitution during the halftime break. Another touch for Germano. Ricky Bennett tried to send the ball in, but it stayed low. Easy ball to deal with for Danny Kim. Katabian just holds things up for the moment. Ricky Bennett off the left peg. It came to Boland. Didn't control it too well off his chest. Still maybe a chance to flick one out, but couldn't get the connection. Bentleigh Greens will come away for their first attack of the second half. Helia defending nicely. I think it was wearing on the attack for Bentleigh. Will get a corner to start this second half for the Bentleigh Greens. It's going to be sent in by Tommy Strickland, the former Heidelberg United man. Need to get something going here, Bentleigh, to work their way back into this contest. Gave up the second goal of the first half in the 45th minute to Liam Boland. Danny Kim can't get clean connection. Carrigan. This is Corey Sewell. Hillier retreating back to Bonscott. Sewell winning the aerial contest against Agawek. Germano, the new man out there for Avondale. As Webster gets held up. Cheap foul given away by Agawek. And some afters as well. Yanni Zissis has to stop play and sort it out as Webster and Agawek get acquainted. And it's not over. Now we're going to see a card for Mani Agawek.
They were right in each other's grill. Agawek and Webster. You can hear a couple of the players trying to razz the two as well in the background. The loudest voice was Brandon Lundy. Doesn't mind a bit of chirp. Waring goes up against Lundy. Hall brings it down. Strickland went flying in. Sewell. Now Waring. Kim. Hall turns it around in midfield. He battles on again, Mitch Hall. Now it's Painter Andrews, threads it into Derek, gets it inside, and it's sliding across the face of the goalmouth. Just put a bit of fear into the hearts of the Avondale defensive unit. They haven't really had to deal with too many balls across the area in this match. So that was as threatened as they've been in this encounter, Avondale. It's become more and more evident. You don't want to be overly critical, especially in round one, but the final third connection of Bentleigh just hasn't quite been up to standard so far. New players in there, Geordie Vanderlaan as well, who started the game all right with the best intentions, but has struggled to find a connection with the wingers either side of him in Derek and Waring. And it's just created a bit of disconnect in the Bentleigh front third. Let's see what Nick Tolios has changed here in the second half. They're certainly getting a bit more possession in that final third already in the first 5 minutes of the second half, Adam.
Just want to say, I didn't see what happened, but as the ball went out of play, yellow card was shown to James Rickett-Bene. Not sure what for there, Jordan.
Might have been a bit of unsportsmanlike, perhaps. Long throw here for Bentleigh. Hoare goes up, loops the header over, and it's not far away from dropping in to Bonscott's right post. Got plenty of air in that, and Bonscott was not holding back in throwing his arms out and hurling some kind of feedback, let's call it, to his Avondale teammates. Well anticipated from Sewell. Now Waring. Can he open up a yards? All those yards closed down. Germano. Agwick. Germano. Early ball. Saeed has to get on his bike. Clark almost overruns it. Now he's in a bit of trouble, Clark. And he guides it out over the byline. That was risky stuff from the Bentleigh goalkeeper. But well done in the end. Did just enough. Vanderlaan. Hoare. Came charging through Mitch Hoare. Draws the contact, didn't get the foul. Play goes on. Bentleigh still in possession. Waring. What can they build here, Bentleigh? Waring's looking likely. Shoveled over by Barcia, and then Barcia goes to the floor. In fact, I beg your pardon, that was Joey Katabian. And Katabian wins the foul. Bentleigh player down behind play. Looks like Geordie Vanderlaan, I think. I didn't see exactly what part of him got hit, Adam, but it was certainly when it was that moment, like previous phase of play when he was dropping in to try and link up. Had a couple of injury stoppages in this match. Kalilu Kamara playing at centre half for Avondale had one in the first half, but he's all good to go. Hopefully nothing too serious here for Geordie Vanderlaan, who comes from a little town called Kajak in the Netherlands, which is just north of Eindhoven, and he actually had a couple of seasons at PSV Eindhoven in the youth team. Geordie Vanderlaan, the striker. And he's up and able to walk off under his own weight, Vanderlaan, so hopefully he'll be back out on the field in no time. But he'll just have a breather quickly on the sideline. Did you see anything, Adam?
Just tried to take a look at the replay. He was involved in a contest and it seems somewhat innocuous, but he is back up on his feet and seemingly okay, so Yanni Zizis will allow him back into the fray shortly. Play does resume. If anything else, just maybe had the wind knocked out of him. Lundy. Now Kamara. Nagawek back to Kamara. Presenting was Boland. Waiting for it out wide, Saeed. Almost lost his footing. Finally able to establish his run, making a decent run in as well near that post, that front post, and Germano couldn't control it. It's going to be a Bentleigh throw eventually. So it was a promising build-up for Said on that outer side, but nothing coming of it.
What a ball that was from Liam Boland as well, around the corner. Great vision to spot the run of Said.
Ball just pinballing between both sides there. Eventually, it'll be an Avondale throw. This is James at Riccobene, brother Phil. Not out here today for the Avengers. Germano, it was tightly marked. Lundy has some space on this right side. Could have gone to Arguwek outside, stayed inside for Bowl and Lundy. Now it's Arguwek. Finally gets his shot away, but Piers Clark had a good line of sight on it. It remains 2-0. Wanted to quickly send the ball out toward Waring. That last touch has accidentally come off Lundy. This is Corey Sewell. Bentleigh is back out there. Hasn't been cited too much in this game so far, the Dutch import. Webster. Wearing the captain's armband. Carrigan. Sewell has some space on the left side. Sends in a half-decent ball. Boland's down back doing some defending for the Avengers. Carrigan came together there with Barcia. Painter Andrews was working hard against Said. It's gone out for a corner. It'll be Katabian to send this one in for the Avengers. We've played 12 minutes in this second half. Two-goal buffer for the Avengers in both meetings last year. That was the final margin in both contests. 2-0 at Kingston Heath and 3-1 here at Avenger Park. They're looking to extend it again here. Katabian's ball. Just lobbed up. Waring was first to it. Another one coming in. Boland's had plenty of defenders around him. Couldn't do anything with it. We've got a turnover here. Kamara wins it back for Avondale. Boland let it go. Hoare. Strickland. Intended for Waring. Lundy got in the way. Barcia toward midfield. Nice first time ball there by Katabian. Arguwek loses his footing completely. So did the defender that was right on him. It was Corey Sewell. Second time around for Arguwek. Can't get around. Sewell did well in the end for Bentleigh. Looks like it should be an Avondale ball. It is called that way by the referee's assistant, so Lundy gets things restarted. Germano. Bit of a nothing ball, really. And easy collects for Piers Clark.
High energy last 10 minutes. It feels like we're building up to something. Bentleigh's had a few moments. Avondale have had the last couple. The pace is still in the game. Hasn't slowed at all, the tempo. Hoare spreads it to Waring. Cuts in on his right. Works it in. Knocked away by Kamara. And a slick move on the edge of his own box. Katabian, who threads it down the line for Saeed. And now the counter-attack is on here. It's 2 against 4, Avondale. Into Boland, who leaves it for Agwek. Needs to pull the trigger. He does. But the hand went up from Pierce Clark. The best moment they've had in the second half here, Avondale. Blistering counter-attack. Orchestrated by the ball from Katabian and the speed of Yazid Saeed. Corner here for Avondale is the result of that play. Bentleigh having to dig their heels in now. They trail by 2. A third would pretty much end the game on the hour mark. Not to put a commentator's curse on it or anything. Katabian gets the ball in. Flying up was Vanderlaan. On the turn, Boland got a shot away. Germano flicks it up over his head. Cute work. Boland was in there. Keeps it in. No, he doesn't. Just spins off his toe and goes out over the byline. But a couple of very threatening moments from Avondale. If I'm not mistaken, Adam, I reckon we had a substitution as well. I think Manny Agwek came off, and was it Valentini who came on? It was. So Stefan Valentini on the hour mark for Manny Agwek. Oh, is it? No, my word. Bentleigh have to be careful now. Can't let the blood rush to the head. Basia combative in midfield. Danny Kim went in. Germano will claim it was late, but Kim got all the ball. Germano's just picking himself up now in the back play. Vanderlaan wide, took a touch. And fortuitously for Bon Scott, spins kindly up on the byline. Another substitution being prepared here by Bentleigh. Not exactly sure what all that was about. And straight out of play off the boot of Scott. Substitution here for the Bentleigh Greens. Strickland is coming off. And it's Kai Adachi who's coming on for the Bentleigh Greens. Let's see what this young man is all about with plenty of time still to play. He's got best part of half an hour to impress himself on the Bentleigh Greens team. Long set piece for the Greens. Can they find their season opener now? It'll be Kim to get it in. Knocked away by Valentini. Sewell put it behind Waring, and now bursting away is Barcia. Avondale looking to counter again. Saeed, he's got Lundy to his outside who's calling for it. Adachi comes across, and his first involvement is to stab the ball away. Kills the Avondale counter-attack dead. Barcia can make up his mind here with a bit of time on the ball. The Argentine connection in the middle, Barcia and Germano. Valentini on the wing, trying to burst past Painter Andrews, gets it up along the byline, and it's scooped up by Pierce Clark. And gives Bentleigh a chance to reset here with Jack Webster.
Haw. Which way is this throw going? Zoran Markovski was somewhat animated in the direction of Yanni Dzitsis as he made up his mind. It's actually a free kick going Bentleigh's way. Webster sending it forward, just too short for Vanderlaan. It remains Bentleigh's ball for the moment. The new man, Adachi. Carrigan, Adachi again. Kim. Haw. Linking up well there, Haw, with Painter Andrews, but his ball in was blocked. It's the visitors that need to find the back of the net here, get themselves back into this contest. Two teams we're expecting to see near the pointy ends again this season. Still inside the area. They did find their way past Bon Scott, but Avondale's going to get away with this. Boland. Some fancy stuff with the volley. Said waits for some help to arrive in the area. Gets a little shove for his trouble from Ben Carrigan. Yanni Dzitsis does blow the whistle. So we did see one set piece in the first half from Avondale was blown well over the crossbar by Liam Boland. It's a bit of a closer look on this occasion. They're attacking toward the Calabria club in this second half, the Avengers, and it's going to be either Katabian or Yamano. James Riccobene enters the conversation as well. They can put a nail in the coffin here if they can score. Make it 3-0 Avondale. Yanni Dzitsis happy with the setup. Yamano straight into the wall. And that's now two key wasted opportunities from the set piece for Avondale. We'll start again with Scott Hillier. Kamara in 2 mites. Hillier. They work it out eventually. Valentini looking to get himself involved, having just come on. Came together with Pierce Clark, not happy with the treatment. Steph Valentini can be so potent in attack. 14 goals last season for the Avengers. Coming on as a substitution here in the second half. Boland. Scored right before half-time. Last touch coming off him. I think we're about to see another substitution, are we? We are, for the Bentleigh Greens. It's their second sub of the game. Ajak Riar coming in. And it's Lucas Derrick making way. That's their second change for the afternoon. He gets involved straight away, the new man for Bentleigh. This foul's going to go Avondale's way. So one change still to come from both Zoran Markovski and Nick Tolios this afternoon. Jack Webster. Adachi. Carrigan. Itachi to Webster. That was an awkward ball. They get away with it, the Bentleigh Greens. Riak wins the throw here for Bentleigh. Somewhat loud cheer for that for the visitors. Well represented in the crowd today. Bentleigh. Fair way from home. And they'll be at home against South Melbourne on Friday night next week. Avondale also in action on Friday night. They're going to Summer Street for a date with the Melbourne Knights. An easy collect for Bon Scott. Lundy. Valentini. Gives that one up a little too easily. Itachi getting it back now, Waring. Kai Itachi. His ball was blocked. The tempo just coming down a little bit out there at the moment. It's not what you would call a hot day today here in Melbourne, but certainly a warm afternoon. Fatigue will increasingly become a factor. Lundy gets there first. It's a nice ball in, but unable to finish. I think it was Yamano in the end for Avondale. It stays 2-0 in the 71st minute.
Big moment there for Avondale. It's probably got too far underneath the header. Jonathan Germano. Lundy set up Avondale's first goal in the first half. Across into Joey Katabian after the 16th minute. And then Liam Boland right before half-time. Another giveaway from Bentleigh. Saeed flicks it back to Boland, who pulls the trigger. Slight bobble from Pierce Clark, but no worries as he got his body behind the ball. Painter Andrews gives it away. Ricabene. Saeed. Still as energetic as he was in the first minute of this match. Painter Andrews wins that duel. Avondale spread it out to the near side for Lundy. First touch through to Valentini. Works it in and getting himself in the way was Carrigan. Can Bentleigh counter? They'll certainly try to. Waring out to Riak, the new signing this season. He goes loping down that right wing. Cross deflected and Ricabene couldn't deal with the high ball. And so a corner coming up here for Bentleigh. Ajak Riak, the number 7 for Bentleigh, new signing this season, coming over from WA at Inglewood United last season. It's got a pretty impressive highlights package on YouTube, so go and check that out after this match is done. Mitch Hall will send in the corner. Taken short to Sewell. Hall gets it back in, and that's a bad ball. Well, they've had more opportunities here in the second half. They've created a lot more, Bentleigh. Far more than the first half. But again, that final ball into the box has let them down at times, but also due to the good work from Avondale. Kalilu Kamara has impressed at centre half. Scott Hillier, you know what you get from the captain, always putting in a good shift of 90. But in particular, that man there who just lost possession, Mario Barcia, but his job shielding the defence has been excellent. Can Ajak Riak break that shield? Waring. Sewell into Riak. Got a shove in the small of his back by Kamara. And Avondale get the free kick nonetheless. Now Riak's wanting to go on with it here. Joey Katabian copping some open hands into the chest. I think Zoro Markovsky's trying to activate another sub here. And they will get that sub as well. So Yazid Saeed will come off. And I think it's going to be Liston Diaz who will come on here. And Yazid Saeed's only just realised now, so he'll make the slow walk over. Been impressive today, Adam. Yazid Saeed has been energetic, had some electricity up and down the wings, which has been really good. Good signs for Avondale, as if they didn't have enough great attacking talent in their final third. Saeed's another one.
Yeah, they've just unearthed one with so many other key names out of the lineup at the moment, mostly on the left side today, but spent some time on the right as well, so his day's done. And it's Liston Diaz, the final substitute for Zoran Markovsky today. Still one to come from Nick Tolios. And he gets instant involvement, Diaz. Looking to link up with Boland, but some good defending by Carrigan. Little tug of the shirt. Yannidzitis saw that. Webster. Vanderlaan. Too heavy a ball that time for Waring. Jordan, we've spoken a little bit about Jordy Vanderlaan today. Bit of hype coming into the game as well for the Dutch import. Just haven't called his name too much today.
No, hasn't really shown too much today. He's had a couple of heavy touches, hasn't been able to link up with his teammates in the important areas of the field, and this second half he's been pretty absent as well. We've seen a lot more from Pierce Waring, and even Ajak Riak, who's come on, has already shown quite a bit just in the 5 or so minutes he's been on the park, but Vanderlaan is just drifting out of the match at the moment.
Webster trying to set something up with Vanderlaan. It was a long shot though, in more ways than one, and it didn't work out. Ricky Bennett to Healy up. Back to Scott. The final substitution is being readied by Nick Tolios. Vanderlaan can't control it. Lundy. His first time ball, and let it go past. And this is Webster again from the back. Carrigan. Waring. Diaz working on him. Back to Carrigan. They've got 12 and a half minutes in regulation to at least salvage 1 point in the Bentleigh Greens. Webster worked his way up. Riak got involved. Now Vanderlaan. Too far away to think about firing away a shot to test Bon Scott. Waring couldn't control the ball coming in. Diaz did read the bounce, but a couple too many green shirts around him to be able to do anything with it. Dachi getting another touch. Carrigan. Saul was able to clear Diaz but not find a target. That's a nice ball. Waring. Was there a handball there maybe? By Kamara. Yanni says no. Hoare firing away the long ranger. That one's probably going to end up on the Tulla Freeway.
Yeah, that ball's been lost now. Bring a new one out. So one last change here for the Bentleigh Greens, and Yagub Mustafa has come on, and Jack Painter Andrews is the one to come out of the game. So an attacking change, another new name in this Bentleigh team. All possession's been given up quickly here. Riak can take a shot, gets blocked. Vanderlaan has held it up. Kim. Riak. Works it in. Punted away by Kamara. Knotted down by Boland. Here's Diaz. Diaz looking for the cross. Works it in early to the back post. Valentini's the man making the run in. But the cross from Diaz floats over. Yaqub Mustafa in number 23 for the Bentleigh Greens has actually played an international cap with South Sudan in an AFCON qualifier against Seychelles a couple of years ago. And he's made the move also over from WA along with Ajak Riak. Rikabene. Closed down by Danny Kim. 10 minutes to go here at Avenger Park. Avondale with a 2-0 lead. Joey Katabian and Liam Boland, the goal scorers in the first half. Katabian in the 16th minute. Boland right before half-time. Bentleigh have looked a little better in the second half, but again, haven't really been able to test Bon Scott in goals all that much. Another substitution here for Avondale. Joey Katabian is coming off. And it will be Damien Grimsditch coming on. So another youngster making an appearance for Avondale. Well, Boland's gone down heavy under the contact from Webster, holding the back of his head. He did almost whiplash his head off the ground, Liam Boland, but he's up and he's walking now. Bentleigh, meanwhile, down the other end, Swearing gets shut down by the combined efforts of Hillier and Rikabene. Thrown in by Adachi. Germano, Valentini laps it down. Runs into a wall of 3 Bentleigh players, and now the scrap is on. Bentleigh throw. There's more urgency now in this Bentleigh team. Here's Hoare. Lofts it in. Mustafa at the back post. Needs a good first touch. Did a flip-flop, I think, to get around Lundy, but the ball's gone over the byline. That was a cute little move from Yaqub Mustafa. Amounted to nothing, however. Diaz wants it back from Boland, who just messed the first touch up a little bit, just enough to throw the attack out of order. It's Damien Grimsditch there with his long hair. Long diagonal from Lundy. Valentini failed to bring it down into control. Webster preparing the long vertical. Vanderlaan, Waring, Riak, back to Vanderlaan. Wants to get on his right. He's ushered out of play by Hillier. 2 big men going at it. Corner here for Bentleigh. They score now, and it's game on the last 5 minutes of regulation plus injury time. Corner whipped in. Riak with a big leap. Vanderlaan was there as well. Riak with the touch. It's almost kicked out of Bon Scott's hands by Webster. Another corner. Well, they're threatening now here, Bentleigh. They've got the tall timber in there. Ajak Riak has got some hops as well. He can get right up there off a standing start. At the moment, he's unmarked at the back post, Riak. Short corner taken. Here's Mustafa. Kim was closed down quite comfortably by Boland, who stood in the way of the shot. Bentleigh getting very urgent now. Long ball forward. Mustafa's underneath it here for Bentleigh, and Scott jumps over the top. Oh, another cheap turnover again from Avondale. They're starting to make errors now as the game wears on. He gets tagged by Barcia, and this is going to be a free kick in a really good area for the Bentleigh Greens. Just outside the top of the D with 5 minutes to go. I'm sure there'll be many a free kick taker stepping up here to try and get the first goal of their season, Bentleigh, but more importantly, try and give themselves a chance in the dying minutes. Pierce Waring and Danny Kim are the two who are deliberating over the top of the dead ball. They both measure out a run-up. Danny Kim leaves the area, so it'll be on the shoulders of Pierce Waring. 4 men in the wall, plus a couple of stragglers either side. It's Waring. Oh, and he's found the back of the nets. Stunning free kick from Pierce Waring. And the Bentleigh Greens do have life now in the remaining minutes of this match. Avondale 2, Bentleigh 1. 3.5 minutes of regulation to go, plus stoppage time. Adam Sarakoglu. This game is right on now in the dying stages.
It's been a game of so few chances. That's all it takes to completely change the complexion. A great set piece by Waring. And it's game on with 3 minutes remaining in regulation. Big finish coming up at Avenger Park to open the new season for two of our leading contenders. Here is Waring. Overran it on that occasion. Hall coming in to help. Avondale throw. They need to start now, running some clock. One of the Bentleigh assistant coaches just helping Riccobene get that ball. Now asking him to please hurry up. There's only so much time on the clock here. 2.5 minutes before we hit the 90. A lovely set piece by Pierce Waring. Mentioned earlier, Jordan, there were two fairly easily wasted set pieces by Avondale earlier in this game. That was Bentleigh's first real good look at one, and they made the most of it. Now keep attacking here. Carrigan. Is there an equaliser out there somewhere? Mustafa. Bentleigh throw quickly taken by Saul. Perhaps a little too quickly. It goes out for a goal kick. Lundsey happy to see it over. They'd be stealing a point if they're able to equalise here. The Bentleigh Greens, it's been on Avondale's terms for so long. But you've got to play out the full 90 minutes. And we don't yet know if Avondale will be able to pull it off. They're going to get the throw here. And Lundsey will be in no rush. Final minute of regulation. We're looking over to the fourth official. looking for any kind of indication of how many additional minutes we're going to get. We don't quite know that yet. Working the clock in the corner here was Boland. Stays in play. Hoare going to Clark. Another attack to be set up here for Bentleigh. The long ball. Vanderlaan, he can announce his arrival by trying to get onto the score sheet. 3 additional minutes will be tacked on to the end of this one. 3 more minutes for Avondale to hold on. 3 more minutes for the Bentleigh Greens to come away with what looked like for so much of this an unlikely point. It's Yomano at the moment. It's a nice ball for Diaz. He can finish it. It's Diaz one-on-one with the keeper. He does finish it. Avondale will come away with all 3 points here at Avenger Park. As it was in this matchup here last year, it is 3-1. Liston Diaz had the one-on-one with Pierce Clark, got the job done, threaded the ball underneath him. And the scoreboard looks exactly the way it did in this exact fixture last year. They had a scare late, the Avengers, but they will come away with the W today.
Oh, what a finish from Liston Diaz, the youngster, making an impact at the end to seal the deal for Avondale. Great finish as well at full flight on the angle through the legs of the goalkeeper. Avondale will take the 3 points. There's still roughly 2 minutes remaining in this match. Bentleigh will certainly throw everything at it in the last couple of minutes, but a 2-goal buffer to try and reel in now is an extremely difficult task. What a goal to get in the crucial moments of the match. Here's Mustafa for Bentleigh. He's got Sewell wide out to his left, but there was a couple of Avondale players cutting off the passing lanes. Diaz was on the move. Sewell, heavy touch. Sewell again. Vanderlaan. Hoare. Kim brings it down in midfield. Waring wants some help, gets it from his captain. Ball turned over. Valentini's one out. There's 3 Bentleigh players on his insides. Now Diaz was making the run in, but too much time had elapsed with Valentini on the ball. Pumped away by Adachi. Up into the final third. Mustafa brings it in front of him. Kamara strong defending again. And that brings this match to an end. Avondale, a 3-1 result in round 1 of this new NPL Victoria season. 2 goals coming in the first half from Joey Katabian and Liam Boland. Pierce Waring scoring a great free kick 3 minutes from the end of regulation time to make it game on at the end. But Liston Diaz, the young sub, threading it in on the angle at the very end to secure the 3 points for Avondale. Picking up from where they left off last season and extending their undefeated run now to 16 games. Jordan Canellis and Adam Sarakoglu with you. Adam, your thoughts at the end of the match?
Avondale just had the legs in the end. 2 of those 3 goals coming right at the ends of each half. And on a hot day like this, or warmish day like this, just having those extra legs can be so important. And despite that late scare with that wonderful free kick from Pierce Waring, Avondale, just a completely professional performance here today. It was a great finish by Diaz to finish it. 2 late goals in each half. Zora Markovsky will be very happy to see that in these early season games when the weather is much warmer. you really need to rely on your fitness base, and that's a lovely start for Avondale to get their new campaign started, Jordan.
Yep, they've got Melbourne Knights next round on Friday night. Avondale and the Bentleigh Greens will take on South Melbourne on the same night as well. So both of these teams playing sides who have won already in round one and have scored a bag of goals. South Melbourne scored 3 the other night against Heidelberg, and Melbourne Knights 5 last night against Dandenong City. So already we look ahead to Avondale and Melbourne Knights as a fixture to be excited about, Adam.
Looking forward to that one at Summers Street next week. And, you know, the Knights, this might be a year for them to start pushing up the ladder a little bit. They've just sort of been above that mid-range mark for a couple of years now. They'll be looking to get their home season started nicely against what is probably the benchmark in the competition for Avondale. And, well, Bentleigh, they get their first home fixture against South Melbourne next week as well. So, yeah, we've got a lot of good fixtures to start this early part of the season. Jordan, we had a good one here today, and it's advantage Avondale in this early battle with the Bentleigh Greens this season. They will meet again, obviously, once in the return fixture, but if recent history is anything to go by, we may well see them again in the postseason as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people will be hoping or looking forward to a possible meeting in the finals as well. More NPL action coming your way in just a couple of minutes. If you're watching on NPL.tv, which is the new hub for NPL Victorian football this season, stick around because in about 20 minutes from now, Port Melbourne and St Albans will go head-to-head. And then tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Dandenong Thunder take on the Eastern Lions. And half an hour after that, at 7:30, Altona Magic will close out round one as they host Hume City. But round one in this particular fixture, the fourth game of this round, Avondale 3-1 winners over the Bentleigh Greens. They've started the season with the perfect results. Bentleigh Greens, I'm sure they won't be too far behind though in getting their season underway in the coming weeks. That's it, full time here from Adventure Park this Saturday afternoon. Avondale 3, Bentleigh 1.